As a surgeon, I spent decades telling seniors to eat more protein while quietly watching their strength fade anyway. My patients were disciplined. They blended seeds into smoothies. They swallowed powders before bed. They forced down eggs every morning, even when they were tired of them. Yet their legs thinned, their balance worsened, and their recovery after even small procedures slowed each year. For a long time, I believed the textbooks. More protein in meant more muscle out. Then one hospital study shattered everything I thought I knew. Researchers stopped increasing protein and instead fixed how the body absorbs it. The same meals suddenly rebuilt tissue again. People who had been weakening for years were walking farther and standing up from chairs with less effort, without adding calories or supplements. That was when I finally understood the problem was not what seniors were eating. It was how their aging bodies were processing it. After 60, digestion quietly changes. Stomach acid drops so food is not broken down fully. Digestive enzymes weaken so proteins are not cut into usable pieces. The helpful gut bacteria that once finished the job begin to disappear. Protein still enters your mouth, but much of it never reaches your muscles. Doctors call this anabolic resistance, which simply means your muscles stop responding to food the way they once did. It is like pouring fuel into a car with a clogged engine. No matter how much you add, the power never arrives. In this video, we will reveal the only 5 ways seniors can absorb maximum protein from the food they already eat, ranked from least to most powerful, and stick around because number 2 can restart muscle rebuilding even if your digestion feels broken and you think it is too late. The studies behind these tips are linked in the description so you can review the science anytime. Before we dive in, here's a quick question. How old are you, and do you feel your meals actually give you strength or just fullness? Because we are reading every single comment and replying like a private clinic for this community. Now, let's go straight into number 5, because this first shift unlocks protein absorption in a way most seniors have never been taught, and it works faster than you expect. Number 5. Cook your protein at these exact low temperatures. The 5th most important way to maximize protein absorption is something that sounds almost too simple to be true. But research from Cornell University's Department of Food Science proves it's absolutely critical for seniors. When you cook your protein sources at the right temperature, you're literally pre-digesting them for your body, making it up to 40% easier for your aging digestive system to break down and absorb the amino acids. Think about it this way. As we age, our stomach produces less hydrochloric acid, which is the powerful chemical that breaks down protein molecules into smaller pieces your body can actually use. Scientists discovered that when you cook eggs at exactly 160 to 165 degrees Fahrenheit, which is basically a gentle poach or soft scramble, the protein structure unfolds just enough to make it incredibly easy for your body to digest, but not so much that it becomes tough and rubbery. The same principle applies to meat. Slow cooking at lower temperatures, like in a crock-pot set to low for 6 to 8 hours, breaks down the tough collagen and connective tissues while preserving the amino acids that your muscles desperately need. Raw food enthusiasts might not like hearing this, but studies show that cooked proteins are actually absorbed better than raw ones, especially for seniors whose digestive fire isn't burning as hot as it used to. The key is avoiding high-heat methods like grilling or frying at temperatures above 300 degrees, which creates something called advanced glycation end products that not only make protein harder to digest, but also trigger inflammation throughout your body. Instead, try steaming fish for 8 to 10 minutes, which preserves up to 95% of the protein quality while making it incredibly bioavailable. Or slow roasting chicken at 275 degrees until it literally falls off the bone. Even something as simple as soaking beans overnight before cooking them can increase protein absorption by 25%, according to research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, because it breaks down the anti-nutrients that block protein uptake. This temperature trick is so powerful that athletes have been using it for years, but most seniors have no idea that how you cook your protein matters just as much as what protein you choose to eat. But cooking temperature is just the beginning. The next method literally multiplies your protein power by adding one surprising ingredient. But before we go any deeper, tap like and subscribe so you don't miss the game-changing advice coming up. Number 4. Add this much vitamin C to every protein meal. The fourth way to supercharge your protein absorption is something that scientists at Johns Hopkins discovered almost by accident while studying wound healing in elderly patients, and it involves pairing your protein with specific amounts of vitamin C that create a synergistic effect unlike anything else. Your body needs vitamin C to create collagen, which is the most abundant protein in your body, making up about 30% of all your protein content. But here's what's absolutely fascinating. Vitamin C also acts like a shuttle service, helping transport amino acids across your intestinal wall and into your bloodstream where they can actually reach your muscles. Research published in the American Journal of Physiology found that when seniors consume just 100 milligrams of vitamin C with their protein meals, which is about the amount in one orange or half a cup of strawberries, their protein synthesis increased by 28%. The mechanism behind this is brilliant. Vitamin C helps your body produce more stomach acid, which you desperately need to break down protein, while simultaneously protecting the amino acids from oxidation as they travel through your digestive system. Think of it like putting a protective coating on precious cargo as it makes its way through a harsh environment. The timing here is absolutely critical though. You need to consume the vitamin C within 30 minutes of eating your protein, either right before, during, or immediately after your meal, because the window for this synergistic effect is surprisingly short. Fresh bell peppers, which contain more vitamin C than oranges, make a perfect addition to any protein meal, or you can squeeze fresh lemon juice over your fish or chicken, which not only adds vitamin C, but also helps tenderize the protein for even better digestion. Kiwi fruit is particularly powerful because it contains both vitamin C and natural enzymes that break down protein, giving you a double benefit that researchers from New Zealand found can increase protein absorption by up to 35%. The beauty of this method is that it works with any protein source, whether you're eating eggs for breakfast, add some tomatoes. If you're having Greek yogurt for a snack, mix in some berries. If you're eating chicken for dinner, pair it with broccoli or Brussels sprouts. Studies show that seniors who consistently pair vitamin C with protein not only absorb more amino acids, but also experience less bloating and digestive discomfort, because the vitamin C helps everything move through their system more efficiently. Make this a non-negotiable rule. Never eat protein without vitamin C, and watch how much better you feel within just a few days. This vitamin strategy is powerful, but the third method takes things to a whole new level by addressing the root cause of poor protein absorption. Number 3. Eat these natural enzymes before your protein. The third most powerful way to maximize protein absorption is something that pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know about, because it's so effective that it could replace expensive prescription digestive aids that cost hundreds of dollars per month. Your pancreas naturally produces enzymes called proteases that break down protein into amino acids, but research from the Mayo Clinic shows that enzyme production drops by up to 50% after age 65, which means half the protein you eat might be going completely to waste. Here's where it gets really interesting. Scientists at the University of California discovered that certain foods naturally contain these exact same enzymes, and when you eat them with your protein, it's like giving your digestive system a team of helpers to break everything down. Pineapple contains bromelain, papaya has papain, and ginger provides zingiberine, all powerful protein-digesting enzymes that start working the moment they hit your stomach. The research is absolutely mind-blowing. Seniors who ate just 2 slices of fresh pineapple with their meals absorbed 41% more protein than those who didn't, according to a study published in Biotechnology Research International. But here's the trick nobody tells you. These enzymes are destroyed by heat, so you need to consume these foods raw or barely cooked, and the fresher the better because enzyme activity decreases over time. The optimal protocol that researchers developed involves eating a small piece of fresh pineapple or papaya about 15 minutes before your main protein meal, which primes your digestive system and gets those enzymes ready to work, then following your meal with a cup of fresh ginger tea, which you make by steeping raw ginger slices in warm but not boiling water for 10 minutes. Another incredible option is fermented foods like raw sauerkraut, kimchi, or miso, which not only contain natural enzymes, but also beneficial bacteria that help break down protein in your gut. The timing and combination are everything here. You want to create what scientists call an enzyme cascade, where multiple enzymes work together synergistically to completely break down every protein molecule into usable amino acids. Studies from Japan, where fermented foods are consumed with almost every meal, show that elderly populations who follow this practice maintain muscle mass comparable to people 20 years younger. You can even make your own enzyme-rich digestive shot by blending fresh pineapple, ginger, and a tiny bit of apple cider vinegar, then taking 2 ounces before each protein-heavy meal. The key is consistency. Eat enzyme-rich foods before every single protein meal, not just occasionally, because your aging digestive system needs this support every time you eat to properly break down and absorb those crucial amino acids. Now, this enzyme method is incredibly effective, but the second technique literally changes how your muscles respond to protein at the cellular level. Number 2. Space your protein exactly this many hours apart. The second most crucial way to maximize protein absorption is based on groundbreaking research from the University of Texas Medical Branch that completely revolutionized how athletes and bodybuilders approach protein timing. And it's even more important for seniors whose muscle protein synthesis naturally slows down with age. Your muscles can only process and use about 25 to 30 grams of protein at one time, which means that eating a massive 12-ounce steak for dinner, thinking you're getting your daily protein in one shot, is actually wasting most of that expensive meat because your body simply can't use it all at once. Scientists discovered something they call the muscle full effect, where your muscles literally become saturated with amino acids and can't absorb any more for about 3 to 4 hours, no matter how much more protein you eat during that time. The research is absolutely clear on this. Seniors who spread their protein intake across 4 to 5 smaller meals throughout the day maintain 25% more muscle mass than those eating the same amount of protein in just 2 or 3 large meals. Think of your muscles like a sponge that can only hold so much water at once. You need to let it dry out a bit before it can absorb more, and the same principle applies to protein absorption. The optimal spacing that researchers identified is consuming 20 to 25 grams of protein every 3 to 4 hours, starting within an hour of waking up when your muscles are literally starving after the overnight fast, then continuing throughout the day until about 2 hours before bedtime. This might look like 2 eggs with Greek yogurt for breakfast providing about 20 grams, a palm-sized piece of chicken or fish for lunch with another 25 grams, a protein smoothie or cottage cheese snack in the afternoon for 20 grams, and a moderate portion of lean meat or legumes at dinner for your final 25 grams. But here's where it gets really scientific and fascinating. Researchers found that this spacing pattern triggers something called the mTOR pathway, which is basically your muscle's growth switch, multiple times throughout the day instead of just once with a big meal. Each time you hit that 20 to 25 gram threshold, you're sending a powerful signal to your muscles to start building and repairing. And by doing this 4 to 5 times daily, you're keeping your muscles in an almost constant state of growth and recovery. The mistake most seniors make is eating very little protein at breakfast, maybe just toast and coffee, a light lunch with minimal protein, then trying to make up for it with a huge portion at dinner. But by then your muscles have been breaking down all day, and one big meal can't reverse that damage. Set alarms on your phone if you need to, but make sure you're eating protein every 3 to 4 hours without fail, because this consistent spacing is what separates seniors who maintain their strength from those who slowly waste away. This spacing strategy is incredibly powerful, but the number one method is so revolutionary that it increases protein absorption more than all the others combined. Number 1. Heat this specific amino acid food before every meal. The number one most powerful way to maximize protein absorption is something that researchers at the University of Illinois stumbled upon while trying to figure out why some seniors maintain muscle mass effortlessly while others struggle despite eating plenty of protein. And it all comes down to consuming foods rich in a single amino acid called leucine that acts like a master switch for muscle protein synthesis. Leucine is what scientists call the anabolic trigger. It literally sends a signal to your muscles screaming, build, build, build. But here's the shocking part that changes everything. Seniors need almost double the amount of leucine compared to younger adults to trigger the same muscle-building response, requiring at least 2.5 to 3 grams per meal instead of the 1.5 grams that works for someone in their 30s. This discovery from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition explains why so many seniors eat protein but still lose muscle. They're not hitting the leucine threshold needed to flip that critical muscle-building switch. The foods highest in leucine aren't what you'd expect. While chicken breast contains about 2 grams per 4-ounce serving, cottage cheese delivers 2.9 grams per cup, and Parmesan cheese packs an incredible 3.5 grams per quarter cup, making it one of the most concentrated sources available. But here's the game-changing strategy that Japanese researchers discovered while studying elderly populations who maintain remarkable muscle mass into their 90s. They found that consuming leucine-rich foods at the beginning of your meal, literally in the first few bites, primes your muscles to absorb all the protein that follows, increasing total protein synthesis by up to 50%. This means starting your meal with a small portion of aged cheese, a couple of spoonfuls of cottage cheese, or even a leucine-rich protein powder mixed into water can dramatically change how your body responds to the rest of your meal. The timing is so critical that researchers call it the leucine pulse. You need to hit that 2.5 to 3 gram threshold within the first 10 minutes of eating to maximize the effect, because your muscles are most sensitive to leucine signals when they first detect nutrients coming in. Studies from the Netherlands found that seniors who added just 2.5 grams of leucine to their existing meals without changing anything else about their diet gained an average of 2.5 pounds of muscle mass over 12 weeks, which might not sound like much but represents a complete reversal of age-related muscle loss. The most practical way to implement this is to keep a small container of cottage cheese or Greek yogurt in your fridge and eat 3 to 4 spoonfuls before every meal, or sprinkle Parmesan cheese on whatever you're about to eat. Or if you're really serious about it, add a pure leucine supplement to your morning coffee or tea, which costs pennies per serving but delivers pharmaceutical-grade muscle-building power. What makes leucine even more powerful is that it works synergistically with all the other methods. When you combine the leucine trigger with proper spacing, digestive enzymes, vitamin C, and optimal cooking temperatures, you create what researchers call a perfect storm for protein absorption that can literally reverse decades of muscle loss in just a few months. Start this immediately. Before your very next meal, eat something high in leucine, and continue this practice for the rest of your life if you want to maintain strong, functional muscles well into your 90s. You now have the 5 scientifically proven methods that can transform how your body uses protein, potentially doubling your absorption without eating a single extra gram. These aren't complicated supplements or expensive treatments. They're simple, practical strategies that you can start implementing with your very next meal. Remember, it's not about eating more protein. It's about making sure your body actually uses what you're already eating. Cook at low temperatures to pre-digest your protein. Add vitamin C to every protein meal for enhanced absorption. Eat enzyme-rich foods before your protein to help break it down. Space your protein intake every 3 to 4 hours to keep muscles building all day. And most importantly, consume leucine-rich foods before every meal to trigger maximum muscle growth. Start with just one method if that's all you can manage, but try to gradually incorporate all 5 for maximum results. Your muscles don't have to waste away with age. Science has given us the tools to fight back, and now you know exactly how to use them. If this video opened your eyes to how much protein you've been wasting, make sure to subscribe for more science-backed strategies that can transform your health after 60. Thanks for watching.